first of all, some of us, it's the first time we are interacting with the DCI. You know, we have been law-abiding citizens all through. But we are now interacting with them to understand how they work. And actually, we have realized they even have problems. You know, I might say I was idle, but I've learned a few things. They are not happy with the SHA. They are not happy with affordable housing levy. Their salaries are down, ziko chini. So we are asking those who are making the budget, and especially the executive, angalia wa maofisa vizuri, ndio waache kutumika, so that they can invest somewhere and they can do business somewhere else. Waache kutumika. Those are our fathers, they are our brothers, and they are our sisters and mothers in there. So we have learned a few things, and I'm telling you, we are going to represent them, and I'm going to bring an amendment that teachers and police officers should not be paying that affordable housing levy. That is something, because I've realized, without mentioning name, they are also suffering. But nevertheless, we have told them, and we have asked them, and we have urged them not to intimidate, not to do arbitrary arrests or intimidation by the Subarus and all that.
And once we got in there, we have sat there from the introductions that we made, and from the point that the client or the two colleagues said that they want to exercise the right to remain silent. We have been sitting at the DCI since 7 in the morning until now. It's going to 6 in the evening. So that's about more than 12 hours just seated doing nothing. And more punishing is that we were restricted in our movement. We walked voluntarily. We could not be allowed to even go out. We have not taken water. We have not taken tea. We have not taken anything the whole day. And I actually feel that this country has gone back to very, very dark days that I never enjoyed myself in my adulthood. I've never seen anybody detained without trial, with a court order that has an anticipatory bail that you cannot arrest this person. So now, since they could not arrest the two of the colleagues, they decided to punish us by telling us that investigations are ongoing. We were speaking about amongst ourselves. The DCI, from the director, the person who has just told us that we have no case to answer or we have nothing to say, they have not engaged us the whole day. Just they were telling us that we are waiting for further orders. The next officer comes and tells us we are waiting for further orders. Another officer comes and tells us we are waiting for further orders. Another officer comes and tells us we are waiting for further orders. Until the director himself of serious crime came and told us, we are so sorry that we have been keeping you for this long. We don't think that there is any reason to hold you here. That was 5:30. There's any reason to hold you here. We allow you to go home. We shall call you next time that we require you. And they had specifically told us to come at 7. If indeed they knew that they have to consult many people, they would have told us to go to Parliament. We would have gone to Parliament, we would have done our legislative job, and then we would have come back here at 4, 5, 6, because there was nothing exactly that was ongoing. So this country is going back to very, very dark days. In fact, it cannot be the days of Uhuru Kenyatta. They cannot be the days of Mwai Kibaki. This country is going back to the days of Daniel Moi. And I want to imagine that President William Ruto wants to walk in the direction and in the footsteps of Daniel Moi. That is why he was fighting you, the media. I mean, what wrong had you committed by just coming to try and cover these proceedings? And I would actually want to say, had you not been here, I want to imagine that we would not have even been allowed to go home. The reason why we have been allowed to go home is because they knew that you are still here and you're waiting for us and you have to report to the people back there. So we want to thank the people on the social media. We want to thank the people of Kiambu, the people of Mount Kenya, the people of Kenya who have stood strong and who have pointed to these excesses and the powers that are being exercised by the government and President William Ruto, because the DCI was here and they're saying they are consulting a higher authority. In my opinion, the highest authority they would be consulting then would be William Ruto, because if the decision was to be made by the DCI, he was here in the morning, he would have made that decision and he would have gone home. There's nothing that we have said for the 11 or 12 hours that we have sat in that boardroom. We have not said anything. We have not been asked anything. We were just seated there. At least they would even have given us water to keep us busy or to even keep us alive.
That it has been a long day. We've been sitting in that boardroom since 8 a.m. And in that boardroom, there isn't much that was said. They were just engaging us in stories, including stories of monkeys, how they steal bananas there. And that there was nothing much in terms of what they probably would have called us for that transpired. But what hit me hard is you are getting in there and they are having charges against you.
One of the charges is that I caused bodily harm. And I imagine for once, when pandemic broke loose, I had to run for my dear life. So I don't know how those people interpret. But I thought that they wanted us to have a statement so that they can use it to generate other statements to incriminate us. So in short, we are not satisfied with what is happening. We know we are being harassed. It was a serious psychological torture that you are kept there doing nothing until 5. And in fact, I thought at one time that they wanted to keep us until the media left. But now I'm happy that the media is here. You're doing very good work. Continue. I have heard that they have spoiled some of the cameras. Poleni sana. But tutaendelea kung'ang'ana kabisa. Ile kitu ambaye naambia serikali, you can try to punish those people who are seemed to associate themselves with the former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua. Because I think that is the only crime I can talk about. But we shall not relent, because the 2010 Constitution gives us the latitude to associate with whoever we want, freedom of speech, freedom of expression, freedom of association, and we are going to exercise them as much as they will be running after us. We shall be going there if they want us to go, but we shall fight for our rights.
And they were told that in fact they are the ones who caused damages to themselves. They are the ones who attempted to murder themselves. Ridiculous charges. I am very sure the government knows and has an idea. The people who disrupted the funeral and the people who injured quite a number of people, destroyed a lot of seats, destroyed property belonging to that family, which was bereaved. Those criminals are known and should be brought to book. And the government knows very well. The member of parliament, the senator for Kiambu and the former member of parliament for Limuru are mere victims. For the first time in Kenya, we have seen a victim be victimized further and be accused of victimizing himself.
We were being labeled as suspects, that we are being suspected of malicious damage, suspected of giving false information. That is to say, when our client, the former member of parliament for Limuru, says that I was abducted, they are saying he's giving false information. So they want to charge him for that. They are charging us for malicious damage. It is our vehicles that were destroyed. It's our vehicles that were damaged. So we are now suspects. They had even placed suspicious charges of attempted murder. That is to say, we are attempting to murder ourselves. That's the ridiculous aspect of this whole process.